The colleague relationship that you've now got with some of those people who've had that formative impact on your experience. What is that relationship like, if you don't mind me asking? Because it's one of those things that I'm sure many people, the transition from student to colleague and so on, must be a different change.
Yeah, I think, I could see how that transition could be really challenging if you have not had an opportunity to gain some space. So for me, I had the advantage of, yes, I did my undergraduate degree here, and all these people, they taught me and they did a really good job, and they were so happy to see me progress and move on to postgraduate studies. But then at the end of it, I did my postgraduate studies for a reasonably long period of time, almost a decade, outside of their immediate area. I mean, we still kept in contact. I kept in contact with at least 3 or 4 of the academic staff members here while I was doing my various postgraduate studies. But it offered me, I guess, the space away from here. Equally, I never really imagined that I would have been in this role. This, taking up this position or this lectureship in biochemistry was not really, it wasn't my life goal. I would have been happy at the end of my PhD to move on to a postdoc and do something else and maybe have my own lab. Maybe I would have gone into industry. To be honest, I really wasn't certain when I was in the throes of my PhD what the next step would look like. It was just serendipitous that, somebody was retiring and somebody said to me, well, why don't you apply? Just apply, see what will happen. You're not finished the PhD, but you're going to be finished soon enough. And maybe you'll apply and they'll want you. And that's exactly what happened. I applied, and clearly I was the best candidate that they had, and I had what they thought they needed at the point in time. But I think coming back to work with those people who taught you as colleagues really has not been a challenge for me. I can't say that I've really experienced any challenges, any disrespect, I think they've had nothing but the most respect for me. And I think if anything, it has really shown and shaped how I approach my students as well, because I come to my students now with the recognition that these people may well be my colleagues in another 10, 15, 20 years. How I approach them, how I approach their ideas, how I approach what they're saying, what they are teaching me is really important. These are not just some people that I'm having this transactional experience with in a course and maybe I'll never see them again. There's a strong possibility that I could probably see 1 or 2 of them again, and I'll be faced with them as colleagues. So I think that really does, or for me, having had that experience of working with people who taught me, I think really has changed and shaped a lot about how I approach my education practice and how I really instruct my research students as well.